The books with female protagonists had more gendered language than the books with male protagonists. The researchers attribute this finding to male being historically seen as the default gender. Female-coded words and phrases are more outside of the norm and more notable. The researchers also compared their findings to adult fiction books and found children's books displayed more gender stereotypes than fictional books read by adults. In particular, the researchers examined how often women were associated with good, family, language and arts, while men were associated with bad, careers and math. The modern system of using personal names developed during World War II, when meteorologists began using women's names, often those of wives or girlfriends, instead of cumbersome designations based on latitude and longitude. Short and quickly understood, names were easier to transmit over the radio and easier to keep straight if there was more than one storm in a given area. The system was formalized in 1953 when the National Weather Service put together an alphabetical list of female names to be used for storms in the Atlantic Basin. Male names were added to the list in 1979 when women's groups pointed out the sexism of using only female names. The long-legged and speedy Cataglyphus fortis normally covers ground with a three-legged stride that moves two legs forwards on one side, and one on the other. For the next step, the insect mirrors the move with its other three legs. But recordings of ants in the Tunisian desert reveal that when faced with oversized lumps of food 10 times their own weight, the forward, tripod, walking style is abandoned. Unable to lift the morsels in their mandibles, the ants drag the food backwards instead, moving all 6 legs independently. This is the first time we have seen this in any ants, said lead author Sarah Pfeffer at the University of Ulm in Germany. Rationing by quantity may limit the hours during which the commodity is available or may assign quotas of a commodity to all known and approved claimants. Rationing by value limits the amount consumers may spend on commodities that cannot be standardized, consumers being allowed to make their own selections within the value limits imposed. Point rationing assigns a point value to each commodity and allocates a certain number of points to each consumer. This system is employed during periods of critical and increasing shortages when individuals begin substituting unrationed for rationed items, thereby spreading shortages.
Moreover, with so much variety of products and services, companies have to give more attention on getting the required competitive advantage. Competitive advantage is about how the company is trying to compete in the market. Therefore, it is the determination of the benefits that the company is going to be able to deliver for its consumers while others are not. However, some studies have identified some factors that may affect on the competitive advantage of companies such as the provided quality, cost reduction, delivering time, innovation, and flexibility to do changes on products or services whenever it is needed. To keep the problematic fish in check, scientists are trying to strike fear back into the hearts of these swimmers with a high-tech tool: robots. In a laboratory experiment, a robotic fish designed to mimic one of mosquito fish's natural predators increased fear and stress responses in mosquito fish, impairing their survival and reproduction. Researchers report December 16 in iScience. While robofish won't be deployed in the wild anytime soon, the research highlights that there are more creative ways of preventing unwanted behavior from a species than simply killing them, says Michael Colshaw-Maurer, an ecologist at the University of Arizona in Tucson who wasn't involved in the study. It is not the first smart city. Municipalities around the world have adopted smart infrastructure like artificial intelligence-enabled traffic lights, but it might be the most ambitious. The project's 200-page wishlist of features is astounding. The vision document imagines not only the revitalization of a 12-acre plot that has sat largely vacant since its heyday as an industrial port, but its transformation into a microcity outfitted with smart technologies that will use data to disrupt everything from traffic congestion to healthcare, housing, zoning regulations, and greenhouse gas emissions.